Hello, Margaret. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
We had a wonderful library. I mean, yeah. So it was very. I'm sure.
Oh.
Where did you grow up? Is that normal? No, that's
If I could turn, I'm going to make a quick announcement. Can I have everyone's attention, please? There's a few more people coming in, but several people have asked me about the jewelry out front. And we had several months ago a wonderful person, Erin Stanger, to make some jewelry for us to use as a fundraiser. And we still have a little bit left. And so I have the jewelry out there on the middle table and the side table. And you can just make the contribution. Make a donation, take a piece of jewelry. There's a little round basket sort of metal thing on the middle table. Just put some money in there, or get with George Simon, and he will he'll take
If
the
you
charge
did a
card.
credit or debit card transaction.
Yeah, and
I'm
he'll
the
do
guy.
that. But just pick your jewelry. It's all laid out there. So and we'll just give them a couple more minutes, and then we'll get started.
Oh, no, yeah. I'm familiar with one of my, she was in,
Just look at the difference in the resolution.
That is amazing. Yeah, that's great. That's much better. Much better. That's so glad.
but she really had she wanted to sweat with the right. Yeah. Wow. Like my mama, I don't know what I want. And they had not taken their lives. And they were trying to so.
What is this?
Oh, Father Harvey gave one to you and one to me. This looks very, very interesting. This campus revival.
All right, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Let's get started. I think I know most of you out there. My name is Sherry Simon. I'm co-president of Pax Christi Little Rock with my wonderful husband, George Simon. And tonight, I know all of you have been looking forward to hearing Erin Stanger talk about Providence Park. We're all looking forward to that. But before we get started, I want to start our evening out with a prayer. So George, if you could do that.
Heavenly Father, we pray for every person who is without a place to call home or lacks enough to eat. We ask for protection for all those having to sleep in the cold, under bridges, or in doorways. We pray for all the vulnerable, the elderly, the children, the displaced, refugees. Keep them from harm, from fear and despair. We ask that you open all of our eyes and hearts to see our neighbors in need. Give us the courage and the will to share our resources, support shelters, food pantries, and to otherwise act as your hands and feet in this world. Grant peace to the brokenhearted and guide every person toward lasting stability, dignity, and love. In your holy name we pray.
Amen. Thank you, George. Perfect for this evening. All right, as is our custom here at the speaker series, I'm going to send around this donation jar, and all proceeds raised this evening will go to Providence Park. So if you don't have cash or a check, get with George after it's over. And that may be a very good thing, because Erin's going to tell you all about Providence Park. And when she tells you about that, you're going to want to be a part of it. So you can get with him after it's over, and if you have a credit card that you want to use to donate. Let's be very generous to this worthwhile cause. So now, what we've all been waiting for, I'd like to introduce our featured speaker. Erin Stanger is the founder and CEO of Providence Park, a nonprofit created to serve chronically homeless individuals in Central Arkansas. Providence Park is designed as a permanent, supportive, and sustainable neighborhood, one that provides dignified housing and a community-driven environment for individuals who've experienced chronic homelessness. Before launching Providence Park, she served as director of the Arkansas Regional Innovation Hub, Arkansas's first and largest makerspace. During her tenure, she and her team developed statewide STEAM education programs, workforce development initiatives, and community impact efforts that help grow and strengthen the maker movement in Arkansas. Errin holds a graduate degree in biology with a minor in urban studies from Rhodes College and brings more than 20 years of experience in nonprofit development, community engagement, and collaborative leadership. She currently serves on several boards: the Argenta Downtown Council, Akansa Arts Festival, the North Little Rock Chamber of Commerce, and the University of Arkansas West Tech College Foundation. So Errin also, by the way, and her husband, Scott Stanger, who is a retired colonel in the United States Army, live in North Little Rock with their 6 children. So please, please give Errin a warm welcome.
Okay, hi everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I see lots of friends in the audience, and I know some of you know a little bit about Providence Park, so this will be a little bit of me telling, of course, who we are and who we serve, but also giving you an update since we now have individuals living in these homes that you're looking at. So we're moving in 3 neighbors this week, so really fun updates to tell you. But as you just heard, I grew up really close to here, actually, our physical location. And when I was a little girl, I never thought that I was going to grow up and build a neighborhood that serves the chronically homeless. I was really headed to medical school, but got involved in nonprofit work, and God just said, I'm going to shift you over into this work, and this is what we're going to do. So it's been a beautiful journey to create Providence Park. This all stems from a really sweet relationship that I've had with a chronically homeless woman. Her name is Miss Joan, and she showed up at the doorstep of the Innovation Hub, which you just heard. I used to be the director of that in downtown North Little Rock, and we met really early one morning, and she's just shown me what it looks like to be chronically homeless here in Central Arkansas. And in getting to know her and creating this beautiful relationship that I have with her, I really could not find a place to take care of her, because she's a little bit older, and she's been on the streets for 21 years. And so knowing a female that has been on the streets that long is unbelievable. Normally it's about a 70-30 split, so 70% male, 30% female, and of course, just all trauma. honestly, living a life on the streets. And so I was a little amazed when I first, met her, learned her story, and then what she's shown me all these years, again, is what it really looks like. And in learning through her, I realized that I wanted to create a neighborhood, really just like I would treat a family member. I wanted to create homes and create an environment of care that provides holistic wraparound services to be able to support someone that's been on the streets that long. And so thankfully I found, after a lot of research, I did about 3 years of research, and I found Community First Village in Austin, Texas, that's existed since 1998. And we are a replicator village of Community First because they have permanent housing for the chronically homeless in Austin with wraparound support services. And so when I found Community First and I realized this is what I've been looking for all the time, it's like my Disney World, I wanted to pick it up and I just wanted to bring it to Arkansas. And I was like, how do I do that? And so thankfully they have a replicator program that I've of course been through, and I'm able to go there often. And really learn how Alan Graham's the founder, how he did it and replicate it and bring it here to Central Arkansas. So thankfully, both mayors have been supportive of this work. That's, Mayor Scott and Mayor Hartwick. But I knew that I couldn't build this within the city limits because of NIMBYism, which is not in my backyard, right? So I'd like you to take those people and I need you to do something with them, but not next to my business, right? So that is something that exists in homelessness work. And so learning again from Alan Graham, he looked to the county, Travis County, which is right outside of Austin. And so I knew that I needed to think about Pulaski County. So when I had the opportunity to sit down with the county and say, hey, I want to show you something that I'd like to do, would you be interested in stepping into this work with me? And they said yes, which is unbelievable and just a total blessing. Of course, Judge Hyde went down and traveled down to Community First to visit, to understand it, to see it, and said, yes, Erin, we will happily partner with you in this work. And so thankfully the county purchased 150 acres in Southwest Little Rock. I've already gotten the question, where are you located? It's 6900 Green Road, and of course that's on our website at providenceparkhome.com. You have flyers in front of you. And when he told me that they had this property and they really bought it to help me build Providence Park, I'm amazed. And they set aside some American Rescue Plan dollars to put in the infrastructure. Then I was even more amazed. And I've been working, of course, really hard with 4 different architectural firms and 5 different construction companies to create what you see right here. So we broke ground 2 years ago, May 14th, 2024. This area, it was all trees. You're seeing the trees there, the whole area was trees. And so thankfully, here we are, and we've moved in all of these wonderful neighbors. And so what I want to do is walk you through our map, and that map is on the back side of many of the flyers that you have. And so I want to kind of explain the layout, and then I'm going to talk about the progress we've made. We've made so much progress this year because we are serving our neighbors. And so this master plan, again, you're seeing some of the architects that are involved at the bottom, Williams and Dean, Taggart, AMR, Jennings and Santa Rita. And the reason I point that out is because normally you just work with one architect, right? Like a normal person, right? Not me. And so we're gonna, so let's invite, everybody into the joy of this project because we have commercial and residential builds. And so that's why we have so many friends that have come alongside me and just really given a lot of their time and wisdom to the project. And so you're noticing kind of at the bottom, the big circle, that's for Rock Region Metro to pull through. Okay, so really working on transportation, that was super important. We're a little bit out in the county, right? So we need to have the bus to be able to pull through. And so we're about to have our bus stop. Just talked to Justin Avery this week, the CEO of Rock Region. Thankfully, they've already donated 2 vehicles for us, so we're able to provide transportation for our neighbors. And then another really important part of this layout is Harmony Hall. And you actually were just looking at it in the other picture before this one. It's that big building that you see on your bottom left. And so that is our big support, admin building. So we have our offices in there. We have a big meeting space, a big hall that's called Goodness, where we have lots of different trainings and events in there for our neighbors, lots of support. We also have a community market in there so that our neighbors can grab just grab and go items, kind of like Circle K meets Dollar General. The grocery store is about 3 miles away, either down Chico or Gower Springs, but I wanted to have a market on site for just quick items they might need. And so that's placed in there. We also have a welcome center and an art gallery in that space. Next to that is a really important building, our medical clinic. So we have this medical clinic on site. And so we have medical care, we have mental health care, and we have dental care. We have our first dental clinic tomorrow morning. Really excited about that. I've worked with all the hospitals, all our major hospitals. I sat down with UAMS and Baptist and St. Vincent's, and really, and I learned too from Alan Graham, again in Community First, that providing the care on site is going to be the best avenue of support for our neighbors because their health issues are complex, I think would be the best word for me to use this evening. And so the average lifespan of someone who's chronically homeless is 57 years old. Wow. And they die of the same things that we die of, but they die younger because they don't have access to care. And so I learned from Alan Graham that, they were able to help their local emergency room in Austin save over $8 million because the care was on site. And I was like, oh, I need to do this too. Like, how do I figure this out? And so again, sitting with the hospitals and also, of course, talking to Dr. Wilbur, who has Divine Mercy, which some of you know in this room. Dr. Wilbur's on my board. He serves as our chairman. And so Divine Mercy is a nonprofit that he and his wife Lori started that serves the underserved. They have a clinic at the back of Mosaic Church, so that his staff, they come over and help staff our clinic, but we also have local hospitals helping out as well. And Dr. Tucker was mentioned, he's involved too. So lots of even retired doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, dentists, dental hygienists, the Lyon College of Dental Medicine coming in as well with their new students coming in and serving the oral health for our neighbors soon. So lots of care, 7 different behavioral health partners. As you know, mental health is a big issue, so we want to address that immediately. So that's provided on site, and our neighbors are using it, and their health is absolutely improving. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So thrilled to have that, and I'll show you a picture of the clinic. Then of course, you are seeing all the little squares up there. So those are all of our homes that we're building. So my intention is to build 400 tiny homes. Wow. Yeah, and I'm not sure it'll be enough. Right, and so our numbers are skyrocketing. We had a 92% increase in chronic homelessness, like an epidemic in the last year, and it was with the senior population. What is happening, right? And so I thought, oh my goodness, I need to build these homes, get them built as fast as I can. So I kind of feel like I'm on a race to build them as fast as I can, but we are, and again, we're moving neighbors in. And so I'll show you some pictures of the homes, but they do come fully furnished. Everybody has a front porch. Everybody has a half bath. They have a kitchenette. They come with groceries. They fully stocked, and they all get to choose their home, and they all get their own bicycle that they get to choose, thanks to Goodwill and R&B Bikes. So abundance is one of our values, right? And so when they move in, a lot of them come with nothing, right? So we even have a clothing partner that gets all new clothes for our neighbors. We get their sizes and their favorite colors. We personalize the homes. So we're really intentional about dignity, of course, and compassion and love. So the homes are like the cutest things you've ever seen. You just saw them. I'm a little biased, but we'll look at some more pictures, but really thrilled with the homes. We build those on site, and they're beautiful. And then we also have a ring of homes. You've seen them a little bit bigger around kind of the outside edge. It's like a big hug, if you will, around the neighborhood. And so those are our missional homes. And missional homes missionals are individuals that live on site. They volunteer their time. They live on site, and they are walking alongside our neighbors and doing life with them. So it's kind of like being on mission. So you think missionary, which I know many of you in this room have been or currently serving. So thank you. And missional is a term that I borrowed from Community First. And so they're individuals just like you and me. Our first 2 missionals, actually, they work during the day. I have a family that has 4 children. They're raising their children on site here at Providence Park. And I have another woman who has a college-age daughter that just moved in a couple of weeks ago. And so they all work during the day and then do the missional work at night and on the weekends. And then at Community First, I've also learned that missionals can be fully retired, of course, and they just want to live out a life of service. And so that is what I look forward to as well. And so for every 5 neighbors, we have a missional, right? So it's a 1-to-5 ratio. And we're intentional about that and put that out to the community because we know how traumatic it can be to go from having nothing to all of a sudden moving into this neighborhood, right? So that is a big adjustment. But I think we all, are made for community, and we all need our helpers, right? Like we all need that support, especially when we move into a new neighborhood. I just talked to someone that has bounced around through North Little Rock and Little Rock, and it's like, isn't it nice when you get the apple pie at your front door, right? And so you have someone like waiting for you to greet you home. And so we're really pleased to have our missionals on site and seeing them settle in. You'll see some pictures of their homes as well. And then we also have our kitchen, bathroom, laundry buildings. They're called KBLs up there. They're spread throughout. We have one of those every 20 homes. And the KBL, kitchen, bathroom, laundry, really creative, right? Okay. So inside the kitchen is where our neighbors have access to cook anytime they like, right? And we love to introduce a healthy relationship with food because what they may have been eating in the past is maybe what they could afford, maybe what they've been, handed, and so it might not be the healthiest food. And so we have a garden that I'm going to show you in a bit where we're teaching our neighbors what it looks like to have that healthy relationship food, so they're healthier, from head to toe, and then having the cooking space to be able to do that has been really fun. Some of our neighbors, Ricky, you're going to see a picture of him in just a minute. When he moved in, he was in the kitchen cooking fish within 40 minutes. He's like, I've been waiting for the kitchen, so he's just like ready to cook, but just didn't have access to that. We also have laundry, of course. We teach our neighbors how to do their own laundry. We're teaching them, again, how to cook on their own. We're not providing 3 meals a day because I want them to have the choice of what they'd like to eat, right? But we're coming alongside them with cooking classes. And then we also, of course, have our private showers, and bathrooms here for our neighbors to use. And Alan Graham taught me that it's really important to pull the neighbors out of the homes. Because if you have everything in there, right, and they're never going to come out, that's just loneliness. We already know that loneliness is an epidemic here, especially in the United States, like 1 in 4 are lonely. So this entire project, a lot of people think it's about the tiny homes, like it's a tiny home village. I'm like, really, it's about community, and it's about being with our neighbors. If there's anything you remember tonight, it's that. It's like we focus on coming alongside them and providing ways to draw them out of the home and being beside them as they live out their life with us, because this is permanent housing. So when a neighbor moves in, they never have to leave. And that's the difference. Someone said, oh, isn't Little Rock doing this too? I heard that before I got up here. And yes, Little Rock is building a microhome village on Roosevelt, but theirs is for transitional. So you found yourself in homelessness and then you need to get right back out, right? That is more the focus of what Little Rock is doing, which is another layer of support. They also have an emergency area in there where they can house 16 women and 16 men. And so I believe in like all layers of support, when we're serving this beautiful, vulnerable community. So, but that's Little Rock's project, whereas mine is, again, Southwest Little Rock in permanent housing. So the houses, again, we'll see some pictures of those. And also, I'm so thrilled with the support that we've received, and just that you'll see some partners in a minute. We've been able to just expand our footprint even farther than I thought we'd be able to at this point. And we've expanded because of grant funding. And so we have our community garden. So we're actively growing. I mean, sort of in this heat right now, but we're made it through with tomatoes and cucumbers and cantaloupe and watermelon and herbs that we're using often to cook. We have an orchard that's next to the garden. It's a soft fruit orchard, so it's 100 soft fruit trees, because the oral health of our neighbors is not great. So we can pull a lot of teeth in the clinic tomorrow, pull a lot of teeth, as we have our first dental clinic. But that soft fruit is like fig and plum and cherry, so they can enjoy those first fruits when it produces, and they are just so cute. We planted 100 trees on March 21st with 83 volunteers. So fun. Next to that is where our tiny home chapel and memorial wall and scatter garden is going. And so we really, we have a director of spiritual life and missionals, and we like to focus on the spiritual life development of our neighbors, because who's doing that right now? Right, with our chronically homeless. And how can we meet them where they are and show them unconditional love and compassion and walk with them in their spiritual journey. So having a place to do that is important, and we're in the midst of fundraising for that now. We're close, so I hope that's our next vertical structure that we have. But the memorial wall and scatter garden is equally important to me, because if you die right now on the streets tonight, if a friend of mine passed away, does anyone know what happens to someone that's chronically homeless when they pass on the street? No. Right, so they may or may not get picked up by the coroner, and then they're cremated, and their ashes are spread in a pauper's grave, which is just an unmarked mass grave, so it's like you never existed. And I was like, well, that's not going to work for me. So we need to have a memorial wall so we can honor our neighbors in their passing. So full dignity in life, full dignity in death. All right. And so we'll honor them with their name, and we'll have the scatter garden. So we'll have their ashes with us as well. So it's a beautiful spot that we have in the neighborhood picked out for that. So I'm thankful for that. I've actually been in hospice all day. So really, really important to me. Next to that is our labyrinth that is in. It is beautiful. Thanks to the Labyrinth Society, the Labyrinth Foundation, Gail and Randy Keys found me and said, you need a labyrinth. And I said, I need a what? So I was like, okay, it's not a maze, where you get lost. It's actually, you guys, you may know this, but it leads you to the center, right? It's a centering, right? So it's a beautiful, peaceful meditation. And I have really enjoyed watching our neighbors use our labyrinth. It is in the shape of the tree of life. It's a big concrete circle with the tree of life. It's a 7 Baltic ring. Our first neighbor that moved in, Jonathan, is a cancer patient. And I just saw him walk in the labyrinth just this week. And so just beautiful, right? So we're so pleased to have that. Further down from the labyrinth, near Pooch Creek and the tree line, is a dog park, because all of our neighbors can have a pet up to 60 pounds, spayed, neutered, and vaccinated. And thanks to Stevens Elementary, those students designed the dog park. They said, we want to help you with that. I love involving kids in this project because they come up with the best ideas. And so they named it Providence Park. Oh, I'm so proud of them. The teacher, funded it. I mean, they built it, like, it's wonderful. So we're really pleased to have that. And right now, if you're homeless on the streets here in Central Arkansas, you cannot take an animal inside anywhere. Which is hard, because if you have a pet, you might know how important that's, like your baby. And so they're staying outside with their animals no matter what the temperature is, right? So we had to just figure out this pet rule. It was like, we gotta have Providence Park. So that is coming. It's beautiful. And then future funding is our arts and crafts building. It's the big white kind of building you see this way on your left, and then our stage and amphitheater. So those are some future spots. Arts and crafts, of course, I used to run a makerspace, so I've seen the joy of what it looks like to put a paintbrush or a block of clay into someone's hands that had no idea that they were gifted in that, right? So sometimes you just need access to the tools and the resources. And so anything that our neighbors make and create in the arts and crafts building, they can sell in our gift shop, and they get to keep the proceeds to help pay rent, because everybody pays rent. I'm gonna talk about that in just a minute. So excited about the future arts and crafts space. And then the stage and amphitheater is, let's have a place for music. Let's have a place to watch movies, big movie screen, a really nice community spot. And all of this exists at Community First. So learning from them and being in those places and knowing how important it is just to have, a hangout area, and also bring music into the park. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then phase 2, 3, and 4 kind of across the top. So each phase has 100 homes. So that's, phase 1 is down here, then phase 2, 3, and 4. And so let me talk to you a little bit more about, who we're serving, so you understand, the definition of chronically homeless is someone who's been on the streets, of course, for more than a year, or they've had 4 episodes of homelessness in the 3-year period. So obviously Ms. Joan really falls into that category, right? And so a lot of our individuals that are on the corners or in the encampments, they've been homeless for a long time, and they need a lot of support to help them become their best self. And so that's who we're looking for. We, of course, everyone has to agree to be a law-abiding citizen, right? So we're a very safe neighborhood, one way in, one way out. We have security on site. You heard that I'm married to someone that's been in the Army, of course, is a colonel. He's also an Army Ranger. So we talk about security all the time, okay? So it's really important to us. So they have to be a law-abiding citizen. They also, everybody pays rent. Again, it's $325. That's a flat fee with utilities included. Very affordable. About 50% of our chronically homeless do have some type of disability coming in. It's about $977 a month. So that leaves money left over even after they've paid their rent, right? Yeah. And so we also have a community works program on site where we will employ our neighbors and pay them a dignified wage so they can earn their living and be able to pay their rent. That's important to us. And then, of course, we also are looking for individuals that are community-minded, like ready to be in community, because we have town hall meetings and I want feedback on like, hey, how is this working for you? What do we need to change? So we also are looking for people that want to be, in our neighborhood. And so how someone can apply to live with us is that they can go online. They may have a phone. It surprises me how many have phones, or they may go into one of our partner organizations, which are many of the places that you probably know that exist here in Central Arkansas, like Our House and Jericho Way and Compassion Center and River City and Dorcas and Nehemiah. Right? So we've trained over 40 partners to understand how to fill out our application in case they are serving someone that might be a future neighbor that could help them fill out the application. But many are just filling it out on their own. We've had 364 individuals fill out the application. Wow, right? I told you I'm not sure if 400 is enough, right? And so they're finding it. We opened our applications in October, so we are working through them. Like I said, and people are moving in, which is wonderful. But also, I want to say we do a ton of screening, and the application is cumbersome for all the right reasons, right? Like we cannot take sex offenders or violent offenders. We do have a criminal look back period, and you can see that information on our website. We also do, a full health screen with our future neighbors. That's where Divine Mercy comes in. So we can really learn what their health is looking like on the front end, maybe what kind of addictions they have, how can we combat that addiction even before you move in, because those drugs can't come onto the property for obvious reasons, right? And so thankfully, we have funding that allows us from the Blue and You Foundation to be able to provide inpatient and outpatient treatment for our neighbors so they can get healthy from before day one, but especially on day one. And so we handle all of that on the front end to make sure that they're going to be successful and healthy, of course, with us on site. If you know anyone, I heard some people talking tonight about individuals they may see on the corners, or you know that John has been in the alley downtown and you've been seeing him, you could be a third party verification for this individual, because we are serving individuals that are in Pulaski County. So we're starting right here first, and that's who we're looking for. So I just wanted to make sure that you know that. I want to show you some of the services. Of course, I've talked a little bit about that we have at Providence Park. You were seeing a picture of our clinic, of course, a garden, and that is Marcella. She teaches some of our cooking classes with our neighbor John, holding all those vegetables that came from our garden. I'm so proud. Just love it. And they're making salsa and all kinds of things. And so we have the life skills training, of course, ABCs of banking. All kinds of different types of literacy. I recently had someone say, would you teach a neighbor to read? And absolutely yes. Absolutely yes, if someone needs to learn that skill set. So just about anything you can think of, we're going to try to be there and meet them in their need. But what I love about one of the most important things that you're hopefully reading up there as I'm talking is the permanent address. Right, and so being able to have a mailbox of theirs, and I think I maybe took it for granted when I would go and get my mail every day. Right, and so I don't take that for granted anymore, because a lot of our neighbors have all these skill sets and they want to work and they want to do things, but not having a permanent address is a barrier, right? Because where's that paycheck going to go? Where can I get my Social Security card, my birth certificate mailed to, right? And so it's important that we provide that permanent address and access to all the things that I've talked about, of course, as I went through big layout. Let me take you inside the clinic. Just beautiful. We have murals throughout the property and our buildings. Beautiful. That's Lisa Kranich-Feld's mural. Absolutely gorgeous. My goal was to make this never feel like an ER. because that's where my friends are going to get their care. There's white walls. I was like, let's avoid that. So next I want to show you maybe my favorite slide. Here we go. And I want to see someone smile here in just a minute, because she just asked if this gentleman moved in this week. And you're looking at DeAndre down there, his picture on the bottom right. And so these are our first 7 neighbors. Tomorrow we'll move in number 8. On Tuesday we'll move in number 9. Okay, we have 11 houses ready, right? And it is beautiful. And so the years of these individuals on the streets is well over 70 years, just with these that you see listed up here. And it has been an absolute miracle and answered prayer, 7 years of prayer for me, that we've been able to welcome them all home into their homes. And so they're just so pleased to be with us. And again, this is just Shantae and DeAndre moved in on Tuesday. I was like, ooh, let me slide in some new pictures before I get here tonight. But I also want you to know a little bit more about these 4 right here, right? So you can see that their stories have dramatically changed since they've come into our care. And we connected with Jonathan through UAMS. I mentioned that he was our he's cancer-free right now. He just had surgery, which is great. And he is healing inside of a home, which is very important, as we all know, after you have surgery. Joanne has come a long way. She would not take any of her medicine that she needed until she was housed. And the day that she moved in, the next day she had her medical appointment and she started taking her medicine that night. And she is healthier and calm and feeling wonderful. Ricky was so tired of being on the streets. He's the one that started cooking within 40 minutes. He's frying the fish. He was really excited. We've talked about grilling fish too, just so you know. But really, really excited. He's just a joy. Of course, John, his story is absolutely amazing. He moved in about a month ago, and he has an incredible story. You can check out the website for it. But he has come through a house fire and was in the burn unit at Children's for months, and due to alcoholism, and now he's home and sober and absolutely a joy and loves Jesus and talks about him every day. Absolutely love it. So really, really, really sweet. Just a little snapshot of who we're serving. And here's what our neighbors are stepping into.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Just beautiful, fully furnished, and just warm and inviting. And so everyone gets a quilt. Thanks to our quilting guild, they have a quilt for them with their favorite color. The houses are personalized and just lovely. And then our missional homes are beautiful as well. So we actually order these from Live 3 and Cabot Tiny Homes. They're wonderful. They do have a full bath and full kitchen. So you're seeing the family, 4 kids, the Wells family. Haley is a pastor at First United Methodist, and Alex, her husband, is like a great teacher. Some of their kids and friends. And then Deb just moved in with her college-age daughter standing next to her on the stairs at the bottom. And so she works at AEDD, and we're just so pleased to see our community coming together. Our operational timeline, just to give you a little bit of an update, everybody asks, ooh, how long is this going to take? Well, really, I have to tell you, only God knows, right? But it's really moving along a lot faster than I imagined. And so again, it's been 7 years for me. We broke ground in May of 2024, but here we are moving in our neighbors. Hope to have probably 20 to 30 homes this year that we'll build, and we're looking to build 60 more next year, and we'll just keep going. I'm finding that normally takes about 2 to 3 years to finish out a phase. But again, really only God knows, right? But we're moving as fast as we can. And also want to show you what it looks like to volunteer with us. It's so fun. Again, I'm totally biased, but I have really enjoyed seeing individuals come in and bring a meal with our neighbors. They might bring like a pre-made meal. They need to heat it up, or they're going to like fully cook the meal with our neighbors when they arrive, but staying and playing games and bingo, dominoes. I've got a lot of neighbors that love to play games, and they just want to hang out. And so that's a fun way to come and be with us. We also, of course, have opportunities, inside, outside. We have a lot of garden work in our orchard. People love to get their hands dirty in that way. And then just hanging out with our neighbors and being with them. We also have opportunities for my organizers and decorators in the room where we turn the houses into homes. So we have piles, if you will, that collect in Goodness Hall. So here's house number 6, house number 7, house number 8. So 115 items go in each home. And there's days where we have volunteers come in and you take all the items into the home and decorate and put everything away. And we have maps where everything goes, and our board's heavily involved in that, and our advisory council. So we have a blast making the homes beautiful before a neighbor moves in. So those are just some examples of how you might want to come in and walk alongside us. And you can easily sign up to be a volunteer on our website. It says, come and be a volunteer with us. It's very easy. You can also just email me. My cards are on the table too, and I'll connect you to my team members to make that happen. And before I close, I just want to show you that this project obviously is large, and there's no way that I could ever do this by myself, right? So my prayer has always been, let me invite people into the joy of this project, and let's see who will come alongside and help with this. And so as we look to partners that do it better, they're already in the behavioral health space, they're already in the food space, they might be in the pet area, right? And so you're seeing all these partners that have come alongside us, and really they're using their talents to guide us in the best way that we can provide the holistic care for everyone on site. So really pleased, and these are all on our website too. They're not all listed here, but there's a bunch. And I just want to say, so thankful for the community coming alongside us. That's where I'm just honored and pleased to have everybody walk with us, in this work and serve our most vulnerable. And of course, here's my information. That cute picture. Shantae just moved into the yellow house. It's adorable. But yeah, so thank you all so much. I hope I didn't take up too much time. I wanted to make sure maybe leave a little Q&A time. If we have, I don't know what time. I meant to ask you what time your meeting ends.
You're
so,
perfect. No questions.
but just wanted to get that update. Questions, anyone? Yes, ma'am.
So all these little homes are on one level?
But yes, ma'am. That's right. Yeah.
Usually when you see them on TV, there's a loft.
Yeah. We did all one level, and 30% of the homes are ADA accessible.
Yeah.
That's kind of the national average as well, and so we're pleased to have that too. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, there's some cute lofted homes, but not for the neighbors. So yes, ma'am.
Is it just one person per unit?
Primarily, yes, ma'am. We really focus on single individuals because they've been on the streets for so long. And that was kind of the niche as I was looking at, because our house does families so well. And so if I come across someone that might be, like I helped a mom and a baby last week, even though I knew we weren't the right fit, but I'm going to reach out to our partners. Say, okay, let me look in the network to see who can help you. That was a really long answer, but just wanted to say all that. Yeah, yes.
You mentioned dental work that y'all provide and pulling teeth.
Yes.
It's always been a thing that we
Right.
Medicaid,
Mm-hmm.
which has always been that it will pay for pulling teeth, but not for
Dentures.
dentures or fillers.
I know, isn't that wild? Yeah.
No.
It is wild. So that's where, I know, and all that, I've learned, one of our neighbors, I think he's going to be a future neighbor, actually, I should say, all he wants is to have his teeth so that he can take his son to dinner with dignity. I'm like, oh, please, just come on, give me a little bit of time with you, right? And so we look to grant funding and other support to be able to just provide. I don't ever want cost to be a barrier for someone to have that confidence.
So your dental people volunteers
Mhm.
do that.
That's right.
So they could be reimbursed for it.
Well, a lot of them are just volunteering and they're not looking to be reimbursed. So we've got some great partnerships in that area. We are able to do the dentures on site, and we have all the equipment to do that. So I'm going to keep writing a bunch of grants and keep asking for support. So I don't want money to be the barrier for someone to have access to that. Yes, we'll do it all. Yes, tomorrow's going to be a good day. We're just going to do it all. So yeah, yes.
In the missionals house,
Yes, ma'am.
what is their rent?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a sliding scale depending. It could be $600 to $700. That's just depending on what the house. We do have one house that has a loft. So we'll say she wanted that for her college age daughter. And so we just do a little bit of a sliding scale depending on the size and what they have inside.
Is there multiple bedrooms?
There can be. That's right. There can be. Yeah, depending on. So I was surprised by how many families are looking to come and be with us, which is not something I originally thought would happen. I'm like, bring it on, because when Ren, the 4-year-old, yells out the neighbor's name from their front porch to a neighbor, I mean, they are running and hugging. I just cannot, like, I'm not prepared for that joy. I told my husband that the other night. I was like, gosh, I'm really thinking about the neighbors, hanging out. But when you don't see children with chronically homeless, like, it doesn't go together in your brain really. And they are actively together all of the time in unconditional love. It's the sweetest thing. So we welcome families to come and be with us. Yeah, we'll have 2, 3, 4-bedroom homes. We can work that out. So don't want that to be the barrier. Yeah, come and serve. Other questions? Yes, sir.
A little bit more about the mental health.
Sure.
You mentioned that.
Yeah.
You offer that there.
We do. We have, thankfully, 7 different behavioral health partners, and definitely the even members at UMS and their psychiatric and team is wonderful, but other partners as well that will come and see our neighbors on site and have counseling and be able to be there with them and sit with them and figure out the best way to care for them. We also have a pharmacy partnership with the centers, and they deliver medicine to the door of each of our neighbors.
Oh, that's
Wow.
great.
Yeah. Yes.
Y'all sort of have a big already, a long range plan to take care of all of this 150 acres over a long period of time. Because things deteriorate.
Yeah.
They have to do these other.
Yes, absolutely. If I didn't have a maintenance budget, I'd be in a lot of trouble, right? And so even caring for the land and figuring out, I have a current need for a tractor right now, right? So my director of maintenance and facilities, we spend a lot of time together to think through what does it look like to care for that land. We're on 50 acres of 150. So yes, even Arkansas Game and Fish came in and said, you know what, you're going to need some forestry maintenance. I was like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. Thank you so much. I need your help with that, right?
Something you hadn't thought of?
Oh yeah, there's definitely things I haven't thought of. So that's why I love questions. I'm like, ooh, help me think better. Like I'm a forever learner. I sit in that space, and so we have thought about what does that look like long term, and how can we be good stewards of the land too that we're on. So absolutely, yes.
Errin, a lot of these folks probably like fishing.
Yes.
Is there an area for fishing?
I'm working on that. We've got 2 outlook areas for water, and Arkansas Game and Fish wants to give everybody a fishing pole too. And they'll come and stock it. And so I'm like, let's go. So I'm working on it to figure out the best spot for the watering hole, right? Yeah.
All right. So,
Okay.
food prices.
Yeah.
Here in the market, couple with,
SNAP, EBT,
so what's-
they are lower.
oh,
Yeah, they're lower. Our food prices are very low. Thanks to another grant, I'm able to provide some really low prices for our food. Yes, and we have lots of partnerships with our food pantries too. I was just talking to an individual in the audience about, we have some diabetic neighbors, so let's talk about that and figure out fresh produce and veggies. Of course, these are expensive, and thankfully we've got partners that help us with that too. And the garden's a great thing to have on site, let me tell you.
Okay, I got a question about the garden.
Okay, and then I gotta go back to him.
I'm sorry.
Because
Go
that's
ahead. Go ahead.
okay. I see him going on the list, so.
let's see here. I'm a nurse.
Thank you,
My first profession, and I know the doctor very well.
thank you.
And what he's doing with diversity clinic. About emergency care.
With great partnership with MIMS, actually have a second accessible road for all my fire and MIMS to come in. So worked really hard with Greg Thompson over there as the ED of MIMS, and Amber and the team. And yes, we spend a lot of time together to make sure even accessibility is perfect. All our houses are numbered, and the numbers are easily seen by my emergency workers.
Lighting in the area.
Yep, coming in if we have some, and more is coming. First Electric actually serves us, and I was like, can you help me? In the architects, I was like, can you help me think about what this looks like for street lights and all of that stuff? So we do have some, and more is coming. Lighted pathways on our sidewalks and all that. Everybody gets a lantern and a flashlight when they move in. Okay. Okay.
The use of alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we allow responsibility with alcohol on property, just like you in your neighborhood. Your neighbor may have a beer in their house, but we cannot have any, it cannot be outside of your home if you're showing any signs of that coming out and spilling into the neighborhood. That's not allowed. And so, but it is just like any other neighborhood. It's not full sober living, but we are, we know exactly what's going on with each of our neighbors. And we have peer recovery support on site as well.
It's probably, what's the point of having a art gallery? You said that, and they love you.
Yeah.
They're gonna do that.
So the future art building that we're going to have, so the neighbors can make and create and sell what they're making in that art gallery space. So my home is filled with art from neighbors at Community First. So every time I purchase art, it helps pay for the rent, and that's what that's for. Yeah. Yeah, so pottery, painting, all that. And then you have a question about the garden.
Well, yeah, because, so they go and they help in the garden, so do they get the produce for free?
They do.
Okay.
Everything we grow is
Yeah.
for them. Yeah, so think
So
like
they don't
farmers
have to
market.
go to the, it didn't go back to the store and then
No.
they have to, okay.
No. It's all for them. We're all cultivating it together. So everything we grow, it's for them. Yeah. So think like farmers market every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or let's go grab some rosemary. Let's go. We need that for dinner. So, yeah. Yes, sir.
Erin, I love what you've done,
Thank
the
you.
group that you have. You've got to have a couple of challenges in the back of your mind right now that you're trying to tackle.
Mhm.
What are the biggest challenges that you have right now, and how might this group help?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So challenges, I think right now it's actually just, the building pace, like literally building the number of homes that we need as fast as possible. The homes are $50,000 and that's fully furnished. Like that covers the cost of laying the foundation, building the home, and putting everything inside of it. So we are always looking for that kind of support. Even monthly donors, like $10 a month is actually a really big deal. Over time, you could be providing a whole kitchen space, for someone. So that's always, just making sure we're able to build as fast as we can. I can happily say now, an old challenge used to be people would get us confused with Little Rock and be like, are you doing the same thing? I'm like, no, let me explain. It's another great project. And so I've been able to kind of now say that's transitional, we're permanent. But I think just trying to also, having volunteers come on site. We like to have really organized, events where we make sure that we're serving what you want to do, right? Because all of you, I think like we're all given for special talents. And so even organizing those can be a little challenging because we have so many groups coming at us. So sometimes I even have to say no. I know, which sounds crazy, but just to even keep us in sync, right? Like, ooh, we're thinking about the holidays. Could someone come and help us with Thanksgiving? Right? Would anyone want to come help us with Christmas? And so we're looking at, it's not necessarily a challenge, but just to say we're looking at the right volunteer opportunities with groups that want to come and help us. Because my goal is that when you're with us, that we're filling your cup. You're already filling ours by being present, right? But any of my volunteer managers in the room, I understand what I'm saying with that. So yeah, just making sure we're serving that well. We're serving you well when you come on site. Yes.
Okay. Do you have, or are you thinking about having a storm shelter? Because this is Arkansas.
Yes. So thankfully our KBLs, our kitchen, bathroom, laundries are built as the shelters.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Yeah.
Are y'all set up with a bank that you can just have your donations drafted in your account?
Yes, ma'am.
You are?
Yes, I am. And stock and anything else. Yeah, so you can see that on our website, and it's right on the providenceparkhome.com. The bottom left has all of our information. But you can also email me and say, hey, I'd like to set it up this way. So that's easy to do. Yes.
So is everything off your list? Everything?
Yes, it is. We're storming here. Let's go underground. Yes, it's nicer than my neighborhood. Yep, that I live in.
Is the city providing water?
Yes, we tapped into city water. We had to build our own substation for sewer though. But we are tapped into city water. And I've got a question on the way back. Yes, sir.
Don't have a music program?
Not yet, but one of our neighbors that just moved in is a music lover, and we're surprising him with the saxophone. Yeah, but the amphitheater, that's it's going to happen. I've got some more musical talent coming in. I would love to have just pick up time for just to enjoy. So yeah, I'd love to bring music in. Not yet. You will not catch me singing. Let me tell you all that. Any other questions? Yes.
Funding, what
Funding.
percentage comes from the city, just from donations,
Yeah. So
grants?
yeah, so no money from the city. So we did get state funding to help build our medical clinic. Attorney General Tim Griffin helped us with his opioid funding to build the medical clinic. So that's the only state funding we've received. Everything else is from public and private donations. Yeah. Yeah, no federal funding. Yes.
Erin, do you have somebody else? A lot of homeless people have got activated, their social security, SSI,
Yeah.
or any of that. So if someone who helps them navigate that.
That's your friend Parker Blake. Yes. So we navigate, case manage those things. You don't have your birth certificate, and we're even doing that in Social Security. Like we're doing that with someone when they apply. We start that on like day one because you've got to have, we all know you've got to have identification and the things you need. So yes, ma'am, we work in that field too.
They don't have none of the, on the community have cars, do they?
They do. We have 2 cars right now and 1 car on the way tomorrow. They all get a special sticker that goes on their car that has to be licensed and have insurance. So we help with that as well to make sure they understand that, get that all legal before they can bring it on. Yeah, some have cars. Some have lived in their cars for 7 years. Yeah.
So down in Austin,
Yes, Community First
been there
Village.
for like 12, 25 years. What is the community look like to anybody else?
So it is the cleanest, most beautiful neighborhood I have ever seen. And I'll send you some pictures. If you email me, I've got another deck that shows pictures of it. It's similar to this. It's Alan's challenge to me was do it better. So they have beautiful construction, it's clean. Neighbors are everywhere, laughing, playing, working. That's what took my breath away when I visited, because most of the time when you tell people you're going to build a homeless village, or you're going to go around the country or the world and visit homeless villages, everybody thinks that you're going to look at tents and needles. Right? Like you're doing what? My husband was like, what? I was like, yeah, it's this little research project. Okay, so now we have this. But it blew me away. It absolutely, I highly recommend you go to Austin, visit Community First. They have tours every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday at 10:30, free, bless you. And I'm amazed. I'm down there often because I'm continuing to learn. They have phase 1 and 2 with 400 homes. Now they have phase 3 and 4. And Alan Grant said, we need to build more. And so they have fully funded phase 3 and 4 at $225 million, and they're building 1,600 homes. Wow. Because their waiting list was 1,000. Yeah, it's beautiful. They have neighborhoods of knowingness. Like we're learning so much from them. So you have to go see it for yourself. Oh, I have some more questions. You in the back.
I'm sorry, I'm very involved in politics right now. Getting all registered to vote.
Yes, they're coming out. They're getting registered to vote. Absolutely, that's already happening. Yes, ma'am. Yes, we've worked out that too. Yeah, thanks to everybody. Again, I got a lot of smart people around me. Woo, thank goodness. I had another hand go up and then one over here. Yes.
Erin, what about assistance with house cleaning?
We have partners that come in and we teach them not only like how to take care of their house, but also take care of themselves. Their hygiene is not our hygiene. So we start with the body, and then we do the house as well. Yeah, Settled Souls comes in and helps them. Lots of great partners coming in with that. We spend a lot of time with our neighbors. You know, most of the time when someone might move in, they'll sleep on the floor, and then they might move to the chair, and then move to the bed. And to get under the covers could take 6 months.
No.
You guys are all going to get under your covers tonight, right? Most likely, right? That's like a normal. So it takes a lot of gentleness, a lot of compassion, a lot of time, and that's what we're here for. Like we're not going anywhere, right? We're taking it slow and steady, wins the race. So yeah, we teach them everything we can. And we also know too, we don't expect it to be totally clean all the time, because how could we? I learned at Community First when we're on a tour that sometimes the outside of the homes were just like, what is all this? Like, is this a hoarder? What's going on here? And they would say, no, they just moved in. They need time. They don't know that they can put their stuff away. What is a drawer? How do I organize? What? Yeah, oh, okay. So just patience and love as we walk them through everything about putting their stuff away, but also cleaning. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
What is that non-furniture? And then also just basic clothes, socks.
What was your first question? I missed that.
Where has you furnish it?
Yeah, so it's all new furniture. So I have great partners, the Simple Nest, all kinds of different partners that help with furniture. The architects, we found the best furniture, and also our neighbors tell us too, like, is this working for you? How's this? Everybody wants a recliner, right? And so I have furniture partners. It's all brand new. Their clothes are all brand new that come in as well. So we have different partners that help us with that. But the $50,000 that goes into a home actually covers all the furniture and all those things. Yeah, and I had, yes.
Looking at the picture, do you have plans for trees in these areas?
Yes.
So there's a kind of an overall landscape.
Yes, we do. We have a beautiful tree plan coming in. I've just learned that, with like 15 straight days of 100 degrees, not the best time to plant, right? And so we're waiting, but we do. We have a beautiful landscaping tree plan, a tree canopy plan to bring the trees back. Yeah.
One other thing that you were talking about, why is you thought at all about, the dark skies issue of them being able to see the stars?
Yes.
With the lighting.
Yes, yes, we have, and that's why you're not seeing all the lights right over their homes. And I just had a beautiful discussion with a grantor that we want to bring in telescopes and work with the university and even have stargazing classes because it's gorgeous out there and it's very peaceful, dark above the houses. Yeah, and we thought about that.
Do you know this one now?
I do. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
He's ahead of that.
Yeah, through the Innovation Hub. That's how.
It's a national
Mhm.
thing, I believe.
Mhm.
He is promoting better lighting.
Yeah.
Natural lighting and lighting that doesn't affect this, all this light pollution affects us.
That's right, it does. Yeah, when you come out, you'll see our sidewalks have lights that are low to the ground. So we don't have the big heavy overheads here. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I didn't notice, you provide a TV?
We
and
do.
Wi-Fi.
We do.
Wi-Fi too?
Yes, sir. All throughout. I've got fiber throughout. Yeah, just did it all throughout the neighborhood. I was like, let's do it. Yes. You want to move in? I'm hearing it. Come on, everybody. Come on and be missional. Not allowed. Yeah, can't have firearms. Yeah, great question.
Smoking?
Outside only. Don't have any smokers yet. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. All good. Thank you all so much.
Erin delivered, you delivered.
Oh,
Anybody
thank
want to
you.
begin?
Thank you
I
so
think we
much.
can see very well how.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate y'all so much.
So yes, after hearing that, everybody, there's George, so visit him. And while you guys are doing that, let me make just a few very quick announcements. If you want to see all the different activities that Fox Christie's involved with over the next month, there's a paper out there on that table in the foyer, and it lists there's probably about 15 different activities because September is Peace Week, or Peace Month, and we'll be having Peace Week during that. And we would like to invite all of y'all to come with us to the Pilgrimage for Peace, which kicks off Peace Week on September 20th. It's the 12th annual Pilgrimage for Peace, and Fox Christie is in charge of organizing that. So we would like to invite you, and there are some flyers on the table that give you all that information. Also, you may have noticed when you came in, we have some beautiful jewelry made by our friend Erin Stanger for fundraising purposes. So please go take an opportunity when we leave to go look at the jewelry, check it out. And there, you can also go to George if you want to make a donation and then just grab a piece of jewelry. It says on a piece of paper out there, $20 donation and grab a piece of jewelry. And what I'm saying to you right now is make any donation and grab a piece of jewelry. We would love to do that. So that'll be great. One last thing, if you want to be a member of Pax Christi, we don't ask for membership fees. We only ask for your involvement, both in prayer and in action. So if you want to be kept informed, please check out our membership application on the table out there as well. We would love to have you join us. And thank you all for coming tonight, and we'll see you soon. Oh, I love it, love it.
Yeah, that's what I got. So right now.
Oh, I